Welcome to Health, Balance, Wellness, your haven of peace. As the years go by, especially once you've passed the threshold of 50 to 60, it's essential to take care of your health in an increasingly careful way. Among the aspects often underestimated but decisive for maintaining a general state of well-being, muscle mass plays a central role. It's not just about having a toned or strong body, but about ensuring the correct functioning of many vital mechanisms of the organism. Muscles are one of the most reliable indicators of quality and lifespan. In fact, maintaining and improving muscle tissue allows us to better cope with aging, prevent numerous diseases and maintain functional autonomy even in old age. For this reason, it is important to recognize the signals that the body sends when you start to lose muscle mass. Often these signals are silent, subtle, but if caught in time they can make the difference between an active and independent old age and a condition of fragility, illness, and hospitalization. Here are 5 main indicators that can suggest that something is wrong and that it is time to take action. But first I ask you to like our video to support our work. Blood sugar that tends to increase over time. The first sign is an often overlooked but very revealing parameter: fasting blood sugar. If the values slowly increase over time, without necessarily reaching diabetic levels, this may indicate a decrease in muscle mass. The reason is physiological. Muscle is the main reserve where the body stores and uses excess sugar in the blood. When this mass is reduced, insulin sensitivity decreases, and the body becomes less efficient at using glucose. The result is higher blood sugar levels even with the same diet. This condition is particularly risky for people predisposed to diabetes, but in general it represents a sign of metabolic decay. It should not be confused with glycemic peaks caused by meals rich in sugar. Here we are talking about a chronic and gradual increase, which can be measured with regular blood tests. It is important to note that body weight alone is not a good indicator. In fact, you can maintain the same weight while losing muscle and gaining fat, which can have negative consequences for your metabolic health. Worsening of memory and concentration. A second less intuitive signal concerns brain function. Scientific studies, including a very large one published in a prestigious international journal, have demonstrated a direct link between muscle mass and cognitive abilities. Specifically, older adults with greater musculature have better memory performance, more effective attention, and greater mental calculation capacity. This link has 2 explanations. An indirect reduction in brain stimulation due to less movement. Moving little means less blood flow to the brain, which is therefore nourished less. A biochemical reason: physical activity and muscle growth stimulate the production of beneficial substances such as myokines and brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which are essential for keeping neurons active and healthy. Of course, there is no need to be alarmed by small daily forgetfulness, such as not remembering where you left your keys. These are common and not pathological. However, if you notice clear drops in your ability to concentrate or in your short-term memory, it is best not to underestimate the problem. There are quick cognitive tests that help measure any decline in brain function. Performing these tests, combined with an analysis of muscle status, can provide a clear and timely picture. Frequent occurrence of seasonal illnesses or infections. The third sign is an increased susceptibility to illnesses, especially colds, flu, or common infections. Again, the cause is linked to the role of the muscles as a repository of important biological resources. Muscle is in fact rich in glutamine, an amino acid essential for the functioning of the immune system. In particular, this substance is essential for the activity of cells such as lymphocytes and monocytes, which defend the body from viruses and bacteria. When muscle mass decreases, the availability of glutamine also decreases, and therefore the immune defenses weaken. If a person notices that from one year to the next he or she gets sick more frequently, or that flu symptoms last longer, this could be a clear warning sign. Even in this case, the solution is not only pharmacological. Strengthening the muscles also means strengthening the immune system and reducing the risk of infections. Deterioration of balance and increased instability. One of the most important signs to monitor, especially as we age, is loss of balance. This is one of the main reasons why falls and fractures occur in older people. Osteoporosis is often thought to be the cause of fractures, but in reality, muscle weakness is often the real culprit. Insufficient musculature cannot ensure postural control and stability in movement. Signs such as tripping more often, losing your balance on uneven surfaces, or feeling unsteady when climbing stairs should be taken very seriously. Even a simple rug in your home can become a dangerous obstacle. Preventing falls is not just about eliminating physical obstacles, but also and above all about strengthening the muscles of the legs, trunk and core. Regular training, even light but constant, is one of the best tools for maintaining stability. Difficulty sitting down and getting up from the ground, longevity test. A very simple but extraordinarily effective test is to sit down and get up from the ground without leaning on anything. This exercise, developed by a doctor in the 90s, is one of the most accurate indicators of longevity. The principle is simple. A person who can sit down and then stand up completely from the floor without using their hands or knees for support has excellent muscle strength and balance. If, on the other hand, you struggle, wobble, or need support, this may indicate a compromised muscle condition. This exercise can also be done safely at home, preferably with a mat and perhaps with a chair nearby if necessary. Observing the way in which the movement is performed is already a first tool for self-assessment. What to do if you recognize these signs? If you find yourself in one or more of the signs described, it is important not to ignore them. The right attitude is not to deny or minimize, but to act immediately. Muscle loss is not an inevitable fate. It is possible to counteract it with a program of targeted exercises, which does not necessarily have to be intensive or done in the gym. Even simple activities like walking every day, riding a bike, or doing free body exercises can help. The goal is to stimulate the muscles regularly and keep them active over time. Furthermore, it is useful to periodically perform cognitive and physical tests to monitor the state of your health, perhaps even with the support of a professional. Conclusion. Muscle mass is not just for moving, it is a fundamental resource for maintaining good metabolic, cerebral, immune and functional health. Carefully observing the signals of your body, and responding with concrete actions, is the most effective way to ensure a healthy, active and independent old age. It's never too late to start taking care of your muscles, and therefore, indirectly, your quality and life expectancy. Remember, this video is made for informational purposes and should not replace your doctor. If you have any doubts or questions, do not hesitate to contact your doctor. If you like our video, please like and subscribe to the channel to support our work. See you in the next video.